Dirk is reunited with Todd and Farah and informs them of their new case. But when an overeager sheriff and deputy come searching for Dirk for help on their own case, well, the interconnectedness of all things may be just what they need. It's Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, Season 2, Episode 2. Fans of Wet Circles. Hey everyone, D here, and welcome to this week's review of Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. So yes, of course, as usual, lots of spoilers ahead. Alright, so episode 2 really getting into the meat of the matter. Top it off, we have our team reunited. We've got Dirk and Todd back together, and I have to say, the two of them jumping for joy to see each other, especially when Dirk turns around and sees Todd and jumps, and Todd sees him, and we go back to that far shot where we just see the tree and the two little figures. They're like, hey! Oh God, that was such a beautiful shot. Really set the mood, really set our mood. I think that's what we were all feeling once they're back together. It's like, all right, the action, the adventure can finally start. And we really talk a lot about the interconnectedness of all things. That is the basis for Dirk Gently's. But in some ways, I think it was all really summed up in the jail sequence, where we have them all in the jail, and we have sort of the catch-up of what's been going on both sides, and then sort of leading into where the next adventure is. So I'm going to start it straight off this week. I'm going to call this our Scene of the Week. This one right here, and yes, in a way, it's kind of like two scenes. There's a little break moment with Amanda in there, but we're just going to talk about as one unit, because we have, of course, Dirk and Todd getting reacquainted. Dirk's just joyfulness and also irritation, and the memories that Todd is going in there. Todd attempting, as Dirk calls him, his cartoon escape. He's going after the bricks, and then later on he's trying to pull the bars apart, and it's just like a frustrated attempt to try and get out. Perfectly Todd's character. We have the catch-up where we find out about his rhinoticulitis coming back, or actually really manifesting right as soon as Dirk had left, and Dirk learning about that. Plus we learn about Mona and how Dirk was able to escape out of that. I mean, it's the perfect kind of summation in that scene of where they were going. And then also from there, the moving forward, because the argument we're having where Todd is talking to Dirk about his disease at first onset, and this was supposed to be a reward, and we're doing the right things. And Dirk's statement back is, yeah, you never really quite know how it works out. At the end, it always will. And we have, in that point, really Todd dropping down. We get that beautiful kind of emotional arc through this, where there's kind of the joy and the confusion, and here, Todd dropping out. Oh my God, we are never going to get out of here. And then, boom, in instant perfect Dirk Gently fashion, that's when our Sheriff Hobbs comes right back in. Oh no, we're letting you out. We need some help. We've got a new case. Why? Because we're bored. And even the whole medication. I mean, Dirk sums it up at the end. Oh, isn't it amazing that we happen to find a sheriff who happens to have a cat, who happens to have the exact pills that you need? And then the quick follow-up is, I'm afraid they might be insane. Yes, I'm worried about that too. It was just from beginning to end, I think that perfectly summed up the tone, the momentum, everything about this show was just perfectly done. Pararibulitis. It's always on the tip of my tongue. Pararibulitis. It's a crazy sounding name. All right, and our new sheriff and deputy, Hobbs and Tina there. Love them. Love them. Such a perfect pairing. I mean, and really for both Dirk and Todd. For Todd, we have a groupie. Someone who knows his band. I was like, you are a god in Seattle mid-2000s alt-rock. That's really specific. But super cool that he has a fan, and also one that kind of understands him. And when they're in the barn and he's talking, and Todd's trying to show Dirk this Wet Circle, fans of Wet Circle, which was funny because when Dirk was teleported, he kind of left a wet circle behind him. Anyway, everything's connected. Just the idea where we have Todd really trying to connect with Dirk, really trying to see the all things, this is weird, this is something. And then he just thrusts it off and leave, and Tina has the, so he just ignores you and then goes off and does some other crazy random thing? Yes. You can see that in Todd's like, yes, someone that sees it, that understands. I mean, it's perfect. And then we have for Dirk the same way. Hobbs, so eager, so interested, so excited. I mean, nothing happens in this town. It's called Bergsberg. What the heck's going to happen in a town called Bergsberg? It sounds like the addendum to another town. Like, it's not even the side of a town. It's like the side of the side next to the town. But obviously nothing going on, and he gets Dirk. He's able to follow up what was happening with the last case, and then even when he mentions holistic, and he's like, you mean the interconnectedness of all things? Yes, no wonder Dirk's like, am I in heaven? I love you. I mean, the response both there was just, it's lovely to have that. And also, I mean, Farah gets a chance to jump back in and do detective work. You can see as soon as Dirk had mentioned we have to find the boy, she was like, what boy? Where's he missing? What's going on? Where is all of that? She's joyful to be just back and doing something. But as for our new twosome leading the group, just so thrilled to have them. They're awesome. Now, as for the case, we do seem to get a lot of information, and we get a little bit more than Dirk, so we can actually piece together a few things. All right, so we have the Cardenas that went missing 50 years ago, a few days before the big 1967 power outage thing that happened there in Bergsberg. All right. Now, Mage seems to be, of course, the mage that the knights are talking about, who is getting together his army in order to take over the castle there. So Mage is traveling between dimensions. He seems to have come here to recruit, I'm guessing, considering what's going on with Suzie, which was just another awesome little arc that was going on right there. She's discovering the power. I mean, the fact that she could have wielded it initially, again, interconnectedness of all things. There are no coincidences. It's no coincidence that Mage gave his little buddies the book that ended up in Suzie's hand, and she can use it. So Mage is here to recruit Suzie in some manner. And she's certainly enjoying the magic going on in her life, doing some great things, and a little darkness too, as we saw towards the end. There's a lot of comments made throughout the show by her husband. We had it for her boss last episode about this accident. That things are better after this accident happened. We don't really hear what it is, but seeing the little arc that Suzie was going in here, my guess is she was a bit of a wild person, and she did something that hurt some people, caused some issues, probably what ended up hurting her hip. And that mellowed her out and made her kind of meek and nice, so that she would have all these other strong men around her that would just trample all over her. And that's got her into position. So now that she has power back, I'm thinking we're going to see a bit of that wildness, maybe a bit of that darkness coming out. Something that would serve as a good partner to Mage, who definitely is a magician of some sort, definitely has got his own powers. Creepy as all heck, man. That scene in the house where he was right behind Farah was just, oh, perfect and quiet and just staring. I mean, it was all being held in his presence and in that face there. So, I mean, John Hannah is freaking awesome. But still, brilliantly shot. Just really well done. So we get the menace that's going on with Mage, and because of that, with the book and connectedness and seeing what's going on with Suzie, that seems to be some sort of recruitment going on. Now, what caused the 67 blackout, I'm guessing, might have been some sort of magic battle or something. We've got a lot of magic that's going on here. That might seem to have blown everything up. Also, we have to figure something out that's going to kind of instantly kill Marina and bury her husband in a tree. Wow, that was crazy. But when we saw the opening bit of Otherworld, I don't know what the name for it is yet. I'm going to call it Otherworld for now. There was what looked like the ancient drawing of the tree that had the skeleton in there. So, the prophecy's tied to Dirk Gently. We think Dirk Gently is here to find the boy. The boy seems to be the child of the Cardenases. So, back in 1967, some crossover between worlds, some magic battle, took out the Cardenas, and the little boy, I'm guessing, probably got transported over to the other world, and that created a whole legend. Whether the time difference was, I don't know. There's definitely an association with scissors. I don't know where the Cardenas got their money. Maybe it was like a scissor mogul or something. Because there's scissors everywhere in that world. But I'm guessing at some point that's what caused the crossover, and now May just found a way to come back to recruit more power to go over and take over that world. We do have all of our Blackwing subjects, and maybe this is associated with them. Maybe there's a mutual connection in birth. I mean, we don't have all the information. Right? Dirk said, "We solved the case!" No, we haven't actually solved anything yet. But I'm thinking this is what's going to be the connection here. Some sort of battle between maybe the Cardenases and someone else, caused the big shh, blew out the town, scared everybody off, locked things down because it was a crazy magic place, and now Mage is back to try and recruit, and the same thing that has opened the gateway where the prophecy says you can come back and find Dirk Gently. Why Dirk Gently? Because he's everywhere. He's always the connection between all things. Well, let's talk about Amanda and Vogel. Of course, not a whole lot going on with them. They're doing their search to try and track down the rest of the Rowdy 3, which is, of course, going to connect them to Dirk and Todd and get all of them together. And we saw in her vision, it was all the scissors in the town and the Bergsberg sign and all of that stuff. So we know that they are coming. But the interesting thing that was brought up in those early scenes was Amanda's statement of that the visions aren't coming that much. She's built up, it's not happening as easily, okay? So the visions are happening when Vogel is feeding on her. And Vogel is feeding on her when she has her attacks. But the attacks are becoming less frequent and less intense. They've been stimulating them, and they're not working as well. So, is she building up a tolerance to her pararibulitis? I'm going to get this word, pararibulitis. I think so. And as the interconnectedness of all things go, is that why Todd now has it? Because then Todd will be able to feed the Rowdy 3 when they get to Blackwing, because of course that's going to happen, because Amanda won't be able to, and that will give them the strength to be able to escape. And so, I'm just seeing, she's losing that in some ways. She's getting better, which is super cool. But I think that energy feed is going to be important because, like Martin told Hugo, when it happens with a regular person, it's not good. You need someone that's, well, Blackwing or Blackwing-ish. And, of course, speaking of Blackwing, yes, we do. We've got Martin in the and the rest of the Rowdy 3. Love that sequence of there pulled out and them yelling. God, I love those characters. They're just fully committed and awesome. Also, we got to see Ken, real briefly. Not really much to say about Ken. Please, just let him go. Let him go. Just let him out of the car. Every scene, it's like some little bit of information, shocked several times unnecessarily, and then they dump him out. Man, I can't wait for Ken to get out. And does anybody walk the dog? That's the real question. But our real fun introduction back here is Mr. Priest, a.k.a. Alan Tudyk. Always such a pleasure to see him. He is always a blast. This, of course, does not disappoint. And also wonderful because he is really such a counterpoint to Hugo and in some ways everybody else. He's scary. He is downright scary. And what makes him scary is he knows who he is. He spells it right out. Yes, this is what I do. I'm the guy they call in when they need to get stuff. I got 30 of the 42 people that were in, subjects that were in Blackwing. I am a bad person. I do bad things. I mean, and he just relishes in it, and he's unapologetic. And he is definitely going to be a frightening force to be reckoned with. So as much as I love seeing Alan Tudyk, Priest is going to be a scary one to see show up. But I still want to see it happen. All right, just a couple of small things here. One, never say it can't get any weirder. That's just a general rule in life. Never say it can't ever do anything because it's instantly going to. The interchange between Todd and Tina there, where she's looking at the new gun they found, she's like, I'm scared, and Todd's like, look, this is early in the case, things are only going to get weirder. And immediately afterwards, we have Dirk saying, there's a person in this tree! Yeah, never say it's going to get weirder, because it's going to get weirder. When Hobbs shows up at the beginning to arrest the group out by the car, that's just awesome. I've never arrested anyone before. Please be cool. And then Farah throws the gun down. Thank you. That was very cool of you. And Labid's he's a hilarious actor. I am so glad he is in this show. All right, so I think that pretty much covers everything. So we do have the knight now in our world, nearly killed by Susie's kid in his car. We have Mr. Priest out after Dirk gently, and we have Amanda also heading into town looking with Vogel to find the rest of the Rowdy Three. So all of these interconnections are going to be connecting again soon. Plus, we've got this whole other world. I really can't wait to dive into more of that and just see how this is just the tip of the iceberg of weirdness, because it's only episode 2. They got 10 episodes. I can't wait to see where we're going to go. All right, so if you did enjoy this review, please go ahead and hit that like button. Thoughts, ideas, comments, theories, suspicions, speculation, throw those down in the section below. Let me know what you are thinking. Who do you think the boy is? Do you think that whole other world connection is going on right there? What ideas do you guys have? Throw them down. Let me know what you're thinking. You can always catch me on Twitter and Instagram. I am at Darren Jakes. Please subscribe if you are not. Got this review, got Mr. Robot, got The Walking Dead coming back tomorrow, plus The Gifted, lots of stuff. Don't miss it. You want, if you're a subscriber, hit this button right here, and we'll actually throw up a couple of our latest reviews right here, and you can check those out. All right, so that's going to be it for me. I'm D, and I'm out of here. Catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.